All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be recapping last night's NBA slate, giving you your daily, everyday, like I did there, NBA update. Talk about all the games, all the things I saw from last night here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Link to my Twitters, all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So we're starting off with Nets and Magic. The Magic end up winning this game 116 to 101 to go to 2-0. The Nets fall to 0-2. Orlando continuing their nice game. They dominated Miami in their first game. Had a really good game this one. And this time it was Franz Wagner. 29, 6, and 5, shot 10 for 19, 3 for 6 and 3, just being absolutely comfortable out there on the court, doing all of it. Paolo had a tough shooting night, 4 for 13. Ben Simmons was guarding him. They're kind of doubling and tripling and kind of like focusing in on Paolo, as defense was, but he had 9 assists with 6 rebounds to go with 15 points. The playmaking ability, I mean, he's basically the point guard now for this Orlando Magic team, and he's doing a very nice job at it. We already know about his scoring ability, how he can score on the paint, get to the little, mid-post, mid-range area. The three-pointer has been solid. He shot 1 for 2 from 3 last night. But the playmaking and the ball handling for his size with that skill set is just absolutely insane. So Apollo doing his thing. And then you got Mo Wagner scoring 18 off the bench. KCP had a good game, 10 points. He had a couple three-pointers. Jalen Suggs had 10, 5, and 5. Wendell Carter had 11 boards. Anthony Black gave you 10, 3, and 5 off the bench. The team shot 50% from 3, 15 for 30. So yeah, great performance from them. They won the rebounding battle. They won the assist battle. They forced 19 turnovers doing Orlando Magic things, and they've been really good so far. The first two games, they've been on it. Like it was going to be really interesting to see how the Magic came out this year, especially last year after kind of surprising everybody, being one of the surprise teams in the league, being a number 5 seed. No one even expected it, and now it's like, all right. Usually, when you have one year where it's like you jump really high, the second year, I mean, you saw with the Kings, how back in 2022 or no 2023 they had that big year with their number 3 seed, everything looking great. And then last year they missed the playoffs. Like the second year is always the toughest year because it's like, all right, now everybody knows you now. So now you have to duplicate it again and be even better. But the Magic so far are succeeding 2 games in. They look really, really good. I mean, for Brooklyn, 24 for Cam Thomas. Dennis Schroeder had 20, a couple three-pointers. Dwayne Finney-Smith had a good game, 15 points. He had a couple threes. Cam Johnson hit a couple three-pointers. But Brooklyn, really, it's been their size that's kind of been messing them up in the first 2 games. Like, again, they're starting Ben Simmons at the 5, which I don't mind. I like it, but I think Nick Claxton should be that starter. Nick Claxton, though, has not been playing super well. He was a plus 11, which was the best for the team. 1 for 4, 4 points, 5 rebounds. He's only played 20 minutes. I don't know what it is. It's just they're not really throwing Nick Claxton out there, even though they just paid him $100 million in this offseason. So I don't really know. But putting Ben Simmons at the 5, it's just the Hawks did it where Yucca Kongwu had a huge game, and in this game it was the Magic. Mo Wagner had a really good game. Wendell Carter had almost a double double. Just the size has been lacking for the Brooklyn Nets, and then their bench also is pretty bad. I mean, Zaire Williams showed some things. Yeah, Shake Milton, Noah Clowney, Jalen Wilson, Keon Johnson played a couple minutes. Like their bench is very bad, but the Brooklyn Nets are supposed to be bad. But yeah, Orlando is looking really, really good after the first 2 games. Next, we had Sixers and Raptors. The Raptors end up winning this game 115 to 107. Get their first win of the season. They go 1-1. Philadelphia falls to 0-2. Very tough loss for the Sixers, but we'll start with the Raptors first because they won this game. Looked a lot better than the first game against Cleveland. Scotty Barnes had a really good game, 27, 5, and 4 on 8 for 11 shooting. Got to the free throw line a lot, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Looked absolutely a lot better than he did in their first game. Jakob Poeltl also had a really good game as well, 19 points, 9 boards, 4 blocks in this one. Ochai Baji had 12 points and 8 rebounds. Jonathan Magbo, their second round pick off the bench, 12, 9, and 5, 2 steals, 3 blocks, filling up the stat sheet, which is what he does. He was a plus 21 in this game, which is the highest in this entire game. Jonathan Magbo doing his thing. He's a Raptor type player. Just a kind of a positionless kind of guy, like a 4 or 5 that can handle the ball, could score in the paint, could defend, like just a really intriguing skill set for Mogbo. Jameson Battle, an undrafted guy at Ohio State, 12 points, 6 boards, shot 4 for 5, 2 for 3 from 3. Jamal Shed gave you 11 and 5. They're running a lot of guys you don't know this year, but they got the W without IQ, without RJ, without Bruce Brown, without Kelly Olynyk, 4 rotational players, a couple starters, and they got to win. They got to win. But more on the Sixers because this has been about as bad of a start as you can get for the 76ers. No Joel and no PG through 2 games. We don't know really when they're going to come back. And they have looked a lot worse. Like, a lot of the talk about PG and all the signings this year, how they signed so many good players, is like, dang, Joel doesn't have to play a lot of games anymore, and they can still win some games. But it hasn't been like that. Tyrese Maxey, 24 points, shot 6 for 23, 2 for 12 from 3. I kind of don't really give him, I give him a little bit pass because it's like, dang, like, what else is he supposed to do? He's got to take 25 to 30 shots now for this team to even win games. Kelly Oubre had a good game, though, 28 points. Kyle Lowry had 14. After that, like, Drummond, 11, 9, and 4 steals. He was solid. Caleb Martin, but then no one else. Like, KJ Martin, 24 minutes, had 2 points. Eric Gordon, 20 minutes. Got to the free throw line, but didn't really do much. Gershon's been decent. But it's like, dang. And they're also not really playing a lot. Like, Ricky Council, Jeremy McCain, they only play like 3 minutes. Ray Jackson's not really in the rotation. And it just has not been good for the 76ers through 2 games. This is probably about as bad of a start as they can get. Like, it's not even even without Joel and PG, this is a game you probably should win if you're the 76ers. Like, against a bad Raptor team has like 4 real starting players missing, and you lose like this. Like, Tyrese Maxey, he did have a tough shooting night, but again, Tyrese Maxey, he's liable to have that sometimes, when he's a star player and he's the only guy out there playing. It just has not been good for the 76ers. It's been a tough watch. Honestly, even watching, it's like, dang, man, like, this looks rough out here. So the 76ers, they have any PG and Joel to come back as quick as possible, or their role players, the guys they signed in the free agency, got to start figuring it out quicker than expected. Because especially with this Eastern Conference, it's very going to be hard to get left behind. It's only 2 games, obviously, so there's still 80 more games to play, and PG and Joel hopefully will be back at some point. But, man, this is a very, very tough start if you're the 76ers. Next, we'll go to Knicks and Pacers, ESPN, rematch of the last year's second-round battle. And the Knicks destroy Indiana, winning 123 to 98. Both teams now go to 1-1 for New York. They got dominated opening night against the Boston Celtics, and they came out this game, looked like they had a little chip on their shoulder. They looked a lot more confident, comfortable, looked a lot more aggressive, ready to go, and things were a lot better. 26, 5, and 5 for Jalen Brunson. He was a plus 36, 10 for 19. Just Jalen Brunson being really, really good. Mikal Bridges, 21 points, 8 for 12, 2 for 3 from 3. The shot looks better now. It just maybe took a little while for the shot to get going. But now this is what they needed Mikal for. Anthony Towns, 21 points and 15 boards. Got to the free throw line 10 times. Josh Hart had 20 and 10. He had shot 8 for 15. Didn't sit on the three-point line. Was getting to the rim, getting to the basket. OG had 14 points. Like, this was a really good game for the Knicks. They shot 52% from the field. 44% from 3. Only missed 6 free throws. Dominated on the glass 43 to 33. For 16 turnovers. This is the Knicks that we were expecting to see. All 5 guys being aggressive, shooting the 3-ball, rebounding the ball, defending very well, being efficient. This is the Knicks that they needed. This is the Knicks team that they need. And Anthony Towns looked really good in there in the paint. Mikal Bridges fit in very, very nicely as well. Josh Hart, really good seeing him have that type of Josh Hart type of game, 20 and 10. Like, this is a great game for the New York Knicks. Man, for Indiana, very tough. The guards have not been showing up. First game, Tyrese was really, really tough shooting. Andrew Nembhard, he started off nice, but then cooled off. Even though Tyrese did hit the dagger in their last game against Detroit. This game, Tyrese and Andrew Nembhard combined to shoot 1 for 1 for 11 from the field, 0 for 9 from 3, combined for 2 points. And they were combined to minus 43 together. So Tyrese going scoreless, 0 for 8, 0 for 7 from 3. That's unacceptable. That cannot happen for this team. Andrew Nembhard, 1 for 3, 2 points. Just not really acceptable. Aaron Nesmith also didn't really do much, 4 points in 17 minutes. He was a minus 14. Miles Turner was trying, 13 and 7. Pascal had 12. But then, Bennett Mathurin put up 20 off the bench. Jarris Walker gave you 12 points. But it's like, dang, if you're starting guys and Halliburton, Nembhard, and Nesmith are combining and give you 6 points, it's going to be really hard to win games. So Tyrese so far has been bad to shoot first 2 games. It's only 2 games, so I'm not super worried about it. But Tyrese has to be a lot more aggressive, has to be a lot better for this Indiana Pacers team. He's the engine of this team, and he's got to get it going. I mean, the team shot 3 for 30 from three. Like you're just not gonna win if you shoot 3 for 30 from three, and all those threes came from your bench, Betting Mathurin and Jarris Walker. So yeah, horrible game from Indiana. But for the Knicks, shout out to them. I mean, defensively they were there, and have all five starters playing the way they were playing. Really encouraging for them. Next, we have the Cavaliers and Pistons. The Cavs ended up winning this one 113 to 101. Cleveland goes 2-0. Detroit falls to 0-2. This is actually a very tight game. The second quarter was big. Cleveland outscoring Detroit 37-26 in the second, giving you a little bit of a gap, a distance, and then the end of quarters. I feel like Cleveland always won the end of the quarters from second, third, and fourth, and that was the deciding factor of this game. For the Cavaliers, a really good all-around base effort. Donovan Mitchell, 19 points, 5 assists, shot 8 for 21. Tough shooting night. Did have that one crazy assist to Darius Garland in the first quarter. But Dean Wade, starting for Max Strus, 19 and 5, 5 for 7 from 3. I really like Dean Wade. Like he's become the last 2 years a really good role player. Just a guy that's gonna defend. He's gonna try his hardest on the defensive end, even though you wouldn't think it. But he's a really solid defender. Then offensively, he just fits in where he gets in. Never tries to do too much. Never tries to go get a bucket or anything like that. Just like, hey, I'm gonna catch a shoot, and when they give me the opportunity, I'm gonna do my thing. So like Dean Wade, really really good. And last night was an amazing game from him. 17 and 11 for Jared Allen. 16 for Evan Mobley, 4 steals, 2 blocks, 6 rebounds. All around good game. Then Darius Garland, 13 points, 6 assists. He had 3 3-pointers. Really nice to see that go in. Ty Jerome was really good as well. 13 points and 4 assists, shot 4 for 6. I've liked the Ty Jerome minutes so far. He didn't really play last year due to injury, but he's just a really solid, steady guard. It's gonna again try on the defensive end. Then offensively, never tries to do too much. Just a point guard, that high IQ point guard that just knows how he's gonna get his and how he's gonna get everybody else involved. So yeah, the Cavs 51% from the field. They won. They did not win the rebounding battle, actually, even though it looked like it. But they won the assist battle. They also forced 22 turnovers, Cleveland Cavalier type things. And when you have all five starters scoring double figures for this Cavs team, and everybody's moving the ball, and everyone's hitting shots, it's just perfection for the Cavaliers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, Kate Cunningham, another really good game, 33, 4, and 6, shot 14 for 24. Kate Cunningham has had an amazing first 2 games of the season. It just sucks that he doesn't have a win to show for it, which has been his entire career, basically. But Cade, from the jump, he was so aggressive, getting to the paint, using his body to his advantage, getting to the rim in that little mid-range area, free throw line area, dominating over there. Jaden Ivey had a really good game as well, 22, 5, and 4, shot 8 for 16. He was really good. Malik Beasley hit a couple 3-pointers off the bench. But, Tobias was 3 for 9. Jalen Duren only had 5 points and 5 or 7 rebounds. Tim Hardaway was 3 threes. But it's really been the end. Closing out for Detroit has been tough, which is understandable. This is a very, very young team that is not used to many wins, so they don't know how to close out games. But even in the Indiana game, where they should have had that win, but the fourth quarter and closing out quarters, Indiana did it better. This game was Cleveland. Detroit kept it really close for a long time, but the end of quarters, Cleveland just found a way to end the quarters better, which made big differences in the end. So yeah, Detroit just got to figure out how to close out games, close out quarters, and that's something that's gonna happen over time. It's not something you just do right away. It's something you have to learn. But yeah, Detroit has been a lot better though. I've actually liked watching Detroit. It's just that yeah, Kay Cunningham has been so good. He might have an all-star like season, but he might not get awarded for it because his team is bad. But the Cavaliers have been really good through the first 2 games on both sides of the ball. Been very, very excited for it. Next, we go to Hawks and Hornets, a very fun game. The Hawks end up winning this one 125 to 120. They go to 2-0. Charlotte falls to 1-1. This is a very exciting game. A battle between Trae and LaMelo, 2 elite young point guards. Trae got the best of it, though, finishing with 38, 8, and 10, 11 for 24 shooting. Hit so many big shots late in this game. Got to the free throw line a lot. Trae Young just being really, really good. He was just in absolute control of this entire game. It's just like, this is the Trae Young that we love. When he's in control, give you 30 and 10 effortlessly, hitting big shots. Like, this is what we needed. DeAndre Hunter had a really good game as well, 24 and 7 on 7 for 14 shooting. Dyson Daniels has been amazing in his first 2 games, 18 and 4 assists last night, 2 steals and 2 blocks, 2 more 3-pointers. Just perfect stuff for Dyson Daniels. Jalen Johnson, he's struggled to shoot, but he's been doing everything else. 16, 7, and 3, 2 steals, 2 blocks in that game. And yeah, Trae Young just being that guy. Trae Young just dominating. They got 38 free throw attempts in this game, Atlanta did. They won the assist battle 25 to 22. They won the turnover battle as well. They forced 18 turnovers. in this game and just making the big plays when it mattered. I feel like Atlanta just did all of those. So yeah, and then Trae Young, just being Trae Young, being in absolute control of this entire game. This is the 2021-2022 Trae Young that everybody loves, and I'm very excited to see him continue this throughout the rest of the season. For Charlotte, a good game from LaMelo, 34, 5, and 4. He did foul out and have 10 turnovers, but he had 9 3-pointers, shot 50% from the field. He was really, really good in this game. Turnovers and fouls, yeah, you can't do that. But LaMelo was really good in this game. Miles Bridges was a lot better, 27 points as well. Trae Mann gave you 17 off the bench, even though he shot 6 for 19. But Nick Richards gave you 12 and 13. They hit they hit 21 threes. The Hornets hit 21 threes, shot 80% from the free throw line, dominated on the glass 53-39, had 22 offensive rebounds in this game, and they lost. Like, that's really tough. But this is improvement for the Charlotte Hornets. Honestly, if they don't start this game, they got dominated in the first quarter, 28-16. If they start this first quarter off with it even or about even, they probably win this game. But that bad start had to make up for a lot. And Trae Young and the Hawks just are a better team, I guess. It just did the things when it mattered the most. But Charlotte, this is very encouraging for the Charlotte Hornets. I'll be very excited if I'm a Hornets fan. And for the Hawks, Trae Young is back in that mode, and I'm here for it. Next, we go to Grizzlies and Rockets. The Rockets end up winning this game 128-108. Both teams go to 1-1. It was the third quarter. The third quarter decided this entire game. Houston outscored Memphis 39-18 in the third. Looking at the stats in the third quarter, Houston shot 52%. Memphis shot 20%. Houston was 3 for 6 and 3. Memphis was 0 for 7. Houston took 15 free throws. Memphis took 10 free throws. Houston had 20 rebounds. Alperen Sengun had 10 rebounds alone in the third quarter, while the Grizzlies had just 9 as a team. So yeah, the third quarter was a big deciding factor in this game. Houston ends up getting this win. A really good all-around effort from the Rockets as well. Jalen Green led scoring, 22 points, shot 8 for 21, hit 4 3-pointers. He's had a really solid start to the season. Dylan Brooks gave you 18 points. Trevor VanVleet gave you 16 points. He had 5 threes. Alperen Sengun, 16 and 15. He's been a rebounding monster. Jabari Smith Jr., 14 points and 16 boards. We have 2 guys combining for 31 rebounds and 11 offensive rebounds. That's just amazing stuff. And then Tari Eason gave you good minutes off the bench, 13 points on 5 for 7 shooting. He hit a couple 3-pointers. Cam Whitmore gave you 11 points. Thompson had some good minutes. Just a really good all-around game for the Rockets. They shot 39% from 3, got to the free throw line 36 times, made 25 free throws. The glass, 23 offensive rebounds, 64 total rebounds. Yeah, just great stuff from the Rockets. Great all-around performance from this really good young team. For the Memphis Grizzlies, Ja had 24 points, only 2 assists with 6 turnovers at 8 for 17 shooting. Desmond Bane has 17 points on 50% shooting. Zach Edey gave you 13 and 9. Scottie Pippen Jr. gave you 13. But yeah, just the depth really is showing. I said it when I talk about the Grizzlies in the first game, like, the depth worries me right now. Again, they do have a lot of players out right now. They have like 4 rotational players, and Gigi Jackson, Jaren Jackson, Luke Kennard, and Vince Williams all out in this game. So it's understandable. But yeah, Santi Aldama gave you 2 points in 22 minutes when he was your leading scorer last game. Marcus Smart shot 1 for 4. Jalen Wells was 3 for 14. Like, the bench didn't really give him a whole lot. So it's going to be tough. Memphis has to hold on with John Bane and hopefully get one of Marcus Smart and Santi Aldama really to ball out to win games right now. But that depth will be coming back soon. So don't worry about it too much. But for Houston, this is a really good all-around performance. Defensively was really good. Getting on the glass, having that third quarter, coming out in the second half and just sparking it up was really, really nice to see. And I like the box score. Look at the box score. You had 7 players scoring double figures. A lot of pluses in that plus-minus category. Just really good from the Houston Rockets. Next, we have the Bulls and the Bucks. The Bulls end up winning this game 133-122. What a win for the Bulls. Both teams go to 1-1. Kobe White, continuing from having an MIP-like season last year and coming in this year. He didn't shoot well in the first game, but this game he was absolutely on fire. Finished with 35, 6, and 5 with 4 steals, hit 7 threes. The second half 3-point shooting, I feel like, was a big difference in this game. Chicago shot 11 for 26 from 3 in the second half. The Bucks were 5 for 19. Kobe White hit 4 threes in the second half. Zach LaVine had a really good game as well, 25 points. Vucevic with 22 and 10. Josh Giddey gave you 17, 6, and 9. Patrick Williams gave you 13 points, had some good moments. Jalen Smith had 11. The team at 21 threes, shot 44% from 3. It's 87% from the free throw line, 48% from the field, 30 assists. What a game for the Bulls. Forced 15 turnovers. Like, this is a really good Bulls game. I feel like everyone did something in this game. They hit so many threes, so many big shots, did things when it mattered the most, and led by Kobe White. This is an amazing Bulls win, man, for the Bucks. Giannis gave you 38, 11, and 5. Dan gave you 28. But it just feels like, even in the last game when they won in Philly, it just feels like it's the Giannis and Dame show, and everyone else is kind of just trying to figure out how they fit in. Like Brook Lopez was 1 for 6 on 3. Torian Prince gave you 11, was decent. Gary Trent, 10 was decent. Bobby Portis only had 9. And then after that, it's like Pat Connaughton, 1 for 5. DeLon Wright gave you 5 points. AJ Green did a couple threes, but I don't know. It's just there's something. It's been Giannis and Dame who have both been electric to start this season, but after that, it just feels like everybody else doesn't really do much in this team. Which I mean, you can understand it because Dame and Giannis are so amazing, all NBA elite level talents, that it's like, man, you want them to do everything. But at some point, like Gary Trent's gonna have a game where he has to hit 5 threes. Tony Prince gonna have to have the game where he hits big shots. Brook Lopez is gonna have to hit some shots. The bench is gonna have to provide something, you know. And it's not. I mean, it's only 2 games, obviously, and they're 1-1. It's not like they're 0-2. But I just would like to see more from the other guys. Like statistically they look good, but on the court, I don't know. It just feels like they're not really doing a whole lot you know. But Dame and Giannis have been really, really good, which is really you really like to see. They both those guys have been on it to start this season. They're coming out with a chip on their shoulder. They just need everybody else to really fall in line and do something. But for the Bulls, a really nice win for them. Really impressive win early in the season. Giving them a lot of confidence. Kobe White being absolutely electric, balling out. Zach LaVine, I love the start he's had so far through the first 2 games. And if you get this type of production from Giddey and Patrick Williams, then that's just cherry on top for them. Next, we go to Warriors and Jazz. The Warriors absolutely smacked the Jazz 127-86, a 41-point win. Yeah, not really much to say about this game. I mean, the Warriors dominated. Buddy Hield, 27 points, 7 threes in just 19 minutes. He's been on it the first 2 games. I mean, he's hit 12 threes in the first 2 games. He's been absolutely amazing. I mean, he's getting so many open looks in this Warrior system. I tweeted out he's the splash adopted brother that they needed. And boy, have they needed him. I mean, the team in general hit 23s in this game. On the glass, 60-45. That's rare. The assists doubled, 35-18. Forced 22 turnovers. I mean, this is an amazing game for the Warriors. Steph gave you 20. Trace Jackson Davis gave you 12 and 9 on 6 for 6 shooting. Brandon Pajemski gave you 15 off the bench. Moses Moody gave you 12. Andrew Wiggins gave you 10, 13, and 5. I mean, absolutely amazing game from the Golden State Warriors. They just did literally everything better than the Utah Jazz in this game. I mean, that's what, except for the free throws. I mean, they only took 6 free throws and gave you up 26, and they still won by 40. So, yeah, for the Jazz, just a really bad shooting night. 31% from the field, 21% from 3. Lauren Marketing was 4 for 17. Keontae George 4 for 12. Colin Sexton 4 for 13. Taylor Hendricks was 0 for 6. Cody Williams was 1 for 6. John Collins and Jordan Clarkson 4 for 10. Like no one could hit shots for the Jazz. No one could hit shots efficiently for Utah in this game. It was just a really, really bad game for them, and the Warriors just absolutely smacked them up. There's not really much more to say about this game. I mean, the Warriors just did everything better. The Jazz were bad. The Warriors were really good. That's all we really have to say about this game. Next, we have Lakers and Suns, a big game. The Lakers ended up winning this one, 123-116. They go to 2-0. The Suns fall to 1-1. The Lakers showing resiliency in the second half. I don't believe it. The Suns put up 38 on the first quarter for the Lakers, and then the second half, Lakers outscored Phoenix 71-55. Second half was amazing for the Lakers. AD gave you 20 in the second half. LeBron was 17, Reeves at 15, all in the second half. For the entirety of the game, Anthony Davis, another dominant performance, 35 and 8 out of 11 for 18 shooting, got to the free throw line, 13 for 17. He's been a monster in the first 2 games. He's been a monster. The Lakers have been putting him in the position to succeed, and Anthony Davis has taken it and run away with it on both ends of the ball. He's been absolutely elite throughout the first 2 games, and we love this for him. Austin Reeves had a really good game as well. 26, 4 and 8, 8 for 12, 5 for 7 from 3. Have the ball in his hands a lot more and was playing really, really well. Brown gave you 21, 4 and 8. Rui gave you 14. The Lakers shot 53% from the field in this game. 51% from 3, 14 for 17. Got to the free throw line 39 times. Doubled the Suns' free throw attempts. Won the rebounding battle. Won the turnover battle. Forced 17 of them. The Lakers playing really good basketball. It's only been 2 games, but I'm very impressed and intrigued with this Laker team. I mean, the movement on offense has been really nice to see. Anthony Davis being elite. The rebounding, just winning the little battles. Lakers just have not been a team that have won the little battles in the past couple of years. Don't have the resiliency like this, and this is a completely different and new Laker team. and I'm very excited to watch this. Like, I'm not a Laker fan, but if I was a Laker fan, I'd be super elated with JJ Redick and what this team has been doing through the first two games. For the Suns, KD gave you 30, Devin Booker gave you 23, Bradley Beal 6 of 14, 15 and 9 assists. Tyus Jones had a solid game with 14 points. It's just no one else really gave you much. Like the bench didn't really provide a whole lot. I mean, Ryan Dunn hit 3 threes in this game, which is really good. But like after that, it's like, all right, whatever. In the second half, just not really executing as much as the Lakers, and the Lakers just dominated. And they didn't have an answer for Anthony Davis as well. Like Anthony Davis just did whatever he wanted in this game, and the Suns did not have an answer for that. And when that's happening, it's going to be tough to win games. But for the Suns, I still like this game. It was really solid for them. There's some good things about this Suns team. It's just, yeah, they don't have a great presence like Anthony Davis is. At the end of the day, that's just what it is. And the final game we had was Pelicans and Blazers. The Pelicans ended up winning this game 105 to 103 thanks to a Brandon Ingram tough fader and then Zion snatch block in the final possession. Shout out to Herb Jones, though, for being straight up to allow Zion to come out and get that block. But yeah, Portland started this game off really well. The Pelicans were very, very slow to start this game. Portland won the first quarter 27 to 15. New Orleans shot just 22% from the field in the first quarter. And I was like, man. And then Portland was up 10 at the half. And I was like, man, no one's going to lose this game to Portland. That would be a very bad loss to start the season. But then the Pelicans found resiliency. They found it in the third quarter. Zion had 10 points in the third quarter. They outscored him 38 to 37, shot 60% from the field. And in the fourth quarter, Jordan Hawkins was just phenomenal. 15 points in the fourth quarter. Brandon Ingram hitting those clutch shots. CJ hit a couple shots. And Portland shot 31% in that quarter. Just couldn't really find much offense going. The Pelicans locked in on defense, and then, of course, Brandon Ingram hits the shot, and Zion gets the block, and the Pelicans win. They go to 2-0. Portland falls to 0-2. For the Pels, very ugly game, but a winner is a win. Jordan Hawkins, phenomenal. 24 points, 8 for 12, 4 3-pointers. Again, that fourth quarter was phenomenal for him. And, man, Jordan Hawkins just is showing that he needs to be a focal point in the rotation for this team. Even when Trey Murphy and them come back, like, he is a lights-out shooter and bucket getter. And then BI 21-8-4. He's been very hot to start the season, which I like. CJ gave you 20. Zion's first game 16-11-7 with 3 blocks. Bad shooting night and 4-15 from the field, which is very rare to see from Zion. He did get to the free throw line 14 times, which is a really good thing to see. But yeah, an odd game for New Orleans. Again, had a very bad start to this game. Kind of was trying to figure out, okay, Zion trying to establish himself, or is Brandon Ingram, like, what's going to happen? But then, they found themselves in the second half, found their identity, locked in on defense, hit a bunch of big shots, made a bunch of big plays. For Portland, again, opposite. Started off really great and then just kind of showed their youth at the end of the game. Jeremy Grant was really good, 34 and 6, 3 blocks, shot 11 for 23, 8 3-pointers, building that trade value up. Anthony Simons gave you 24, had a tough shooting night, 6 for 20, 2 for 9 from 3. Scoot Henderson gave you 15 and 6 off the bench, 7 for 9 from the field, which is really nice. DeAndre Ayton gave you 10 and 15. But yeah, just the second half, they just couldn't really they couldn't find the bucket in the fourth quarter. Like, again, everyone, I think, shot like 1 for something. Yeah, in the fourth quarter, Anthony Simons was 1 for 8, Jeremy Grant 1 for 3, DeAndre Ayton 1 for 5, Denny and Tumani Kamara 1 for 2, Scoot was 2 for 2. But yeah, they shot 31%, 1 for 5 from 3, 4 for 5 from the line, lost the rebounding battle in that quarter. Yeah, just a bad fourth quarter from the Portland Trailblazers, but makes sense. This is not a good team. They're not supposed to be really good, and they have a lot of youth out there. But the Pelicans was good, looking like it was going to be an ugly loss, but they turn it into a ugly win. And yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.